Hello, and welcome back to English in Minutes. I'm Natasha, and I'm so happy to have you with me today. If you're someone who wants to remember English words more easily, but always feels stuck or forgets them after a while, you're not alone. This is one of the most common challenges English learners face. You may know the word today and tomorrow. It just disappears from your memory. That's frustrating, isn't it? But don't worry. Today, we are going to talk about smart and simple ways to help you remember English vocabulary without feeling overwhelmed. You don't need to have a perfect memory. You just need the right techniques, the right kind of practice, and a little bit of fun along the way. Let's start by thinking about how we learn new words in real life. Imagine you hear a word like appointment. You understand it in the moment, maybe in a sentence like, I have a doctor's appointment at 4 p.m. You say, okay, I got it. But later, when you try to use it in your own sentence, your mind goes blank. Why does this happen? The reason is simple. Just hearing a word once isn't enough. Your brain needs to see the word, hear it, say it, and use it in a meaningful way. That's how it sticks. Learning a word is not just about translating it, it's about building a connection with it. Let's try a little practice. Listen to this short story. This morning, I woke up early because I had an important meeting. I looked at my calendar and saw I had an appointment with my dentist at 10 a.m. I quickly got ready, had breakfast, and left for the clinic. Now think. How was the word appointment used here? It was part of a short daily routine. When you hear words in stories that sound real and natural, your brain is more likely to keep them in memory. That's one of the tricks we'll use again and again in this lesson. Another useful way to remember vocabulary is to group words by topic. For example, think about words related to health: doctor, patient, medicine, prescription, appointment, clinic. If you learn these words together and use them in a story or conversation, they stay in your mind longer. Let's try this with a simple conversation example. Excuse me, I need to see a doctor. Do you have an appointment? Yes, I have an appointment at 11. Please wait in the clinic. The doctor will see you soon. In this little exchange, you've used 4 different words from the same group. This technique works because our brain likes connections. It's easier to remember related words than isolated ones. Now, here's a little exercise for you. Try to create your own short story using these words: doctor, medicine, sick, appointment, and clinic. Even if you're not confident in your writing, just give it a try. You can say something like, I felt sick last night. In the morning, I went to the clinic. The doctor gave me some medicine. I have another appointment next week. See how simple that was? When you make sentences with the words you're trying to learn, you're already training your memory. Let's do another practice round. Listen to this mini story. Sarah was feeling tired and had a headache. She called the clinic and made an appointment. The doctor examined her and said she needed rest. He gave her some medicine and told her to come back in a week. Now, try to retell this story in your own words, without looking back. This is called active recall. It's a powerful method to strengthen your memory. When you try to bring the word out of your memory, instead of just reading it again, your brain works harder and forms a stronger memory. One important thing to understand about memory is that repetition is key, but not just any repetition. What we need is spaced repetition. That means reviewing a word several times over a few days, instead of repeating it 10 times in 1 minute and forgetting it the next day. For example, if you learn the word receipt today, review it tomorrow, then again in 2 days, and then next week. Every time you recall the word after some time has passed, you make that memory stronger. So instead of cramming, give your brain space to remember, let's bring receipt into a real-life situation. Imagine you go to the supermarket, you buy some groceries, and the cashier gives you a piece of paper. That's your receipt. It lists what you bought and how much you paid. Now listen to this short scene. Excuse me, do you have your receipt? Yes, here it is. Thank you. I just need to check the items you purchased. This everyday exchange is not only realistic, but it also helps you remember the word through action and purpose to help yourself even more. You can write short diary entries in English. Don't worry about being perfect. You can write just a few lines every day, using the new words you've learned. Let's say today you learned the words receipt, groceries, and cashier. Your diary could say, Today I went to the store. I bought some groceries. The cashier gave me a receipt. I checked it, and everything was correct. That's it. You've already used 3 new words in your own sentence, and that makes your learning more personal and memorable. Another great method is using images or mental pictures to remember words. This is especially helpful for abstract words or words that are hard to visualize. For example, the word decision. It doesn't have a physical form, but if you imagine yourself standing in front of 2 doors, one red and one blue, and you have to choose one, you are making a decision. This kind of visualization makes words stick in your brain. When the image is emotional, funny, or exaggerated, it works even better. Let's practice that. Think of the word embarrassed. Now imagine you're walking into a room full of people, and you suddenly trip and fall. Everyone looks at you. You feel your face turn red. That feeling is embarrassed. You may laugh now, but that visual picture will stay in your mind. And the word will too. That's the magic of visual memory. There's another technique called context learning. Instead of memorizing a word and its translation, try to learn it in a sentence or story. This builds meaning around the word. For instance, don't just learn that borrow means to take something for a short time. Hear it in action. I forgot my pen. Can I borrow yours? When you hear it like this, in a sentence you could actually use, you're more likely to remember it when you need it. Let's take a few minutes to practice. I'll tell you 3 short sentences, and you'll try to remember the new word in each. First, I'm going to the bank to deposit some money. The new word is deposit. Second, she asked if she could borrow my umbrella because it was raining. The new word is borrow. Third, I made a decision to learn English every day. The new word is decision. Now take a moment and try to say your own sentence with each of those words. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The act of creating your own example helps fix the word in your memory, much more than just listening. Now let's try turning some words into a story to link them together. Use the words borrow, decision, and deposit. Here's a story. Tom needed to deposit some money at the bank, but he forgot his wallet at home. He decided to borrow money from his friend for the taxi. It was a quick decision, but it helped him solve the problem. Did you notice how those words fit together naturally in the story? When you learn words in groups, in context, and with logic, they become easier to remember. Let's now explore the importance of pronunciation in remembering words. When you learn a new word, don't just read it silently, say it out loud. Hearing yourself say the word helps your brain register it more deeply. Repeating a word with correct pronunciation creates a strong sound pattern in your mind. If you're unsure how to say a word, use online dictionaries that provide audio. Listen and repeat several times until your mouth feels comfortable saying it. This also makes you more confident when speaking English. Try this now. Take the word comfortable It may look difficult at first. Some people read every letter, like comfortable, but native speakers often say comfortable. Try saying it out loud. Comfortable. Again, I bought a comfortable chair. Repeat that sentence a few times. Now you've not only learned the word, but also how it sounds in real speech. Let's do another small practice with pronunciation and meaning. Take the word neighbor. Many learners confuse the spelling. It has that GH, which is silent. Say it out loud. Neighbor. Now put it in a sentence. My neighbor helped me carry the groceries. Try repeating that sentence 3 times. Can you feel how it's becoming easier to say and remember? That's how pronunciation and repetition go hand in hand. Another powerful technique is connecting words to your real life. Let's say you learn the word laundry. Don't just think of a textbook definition. Think about your actual laundry routine. Maybe you wash your clothes every Sunday. You can say, on Sunday I do my laundry. I separate colors, add detergent, and hang my clothes to dry. When you use words that relate to your real habits, you create emotional connections, and those help memory. The brain loves personal meaning. Now, let's practice with daily routine words. Imagine a normal morning. You wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and go to work or school. Each of these steps includes useful vocabulary. For example, alarm, toothbrush, cereal, bus stop, colleagues, assignment. You can make your own little story like this. My alarm rang at 7 a.m. I brushed my teeth with a new toothbrush. I ate cereal and caught the bus at 8. I met my colleagues at work and finished my assignment. That short paragraph includes 7 useful words, and because they're tied to a routine, you're more likely to remember them. Now let's do a little active recall exercise. I'll say a paragraph, and then you'll try to say it back in your own way. Listen carefully. Yesterday, I visited the market. I bought vegetables and fruits. I asked the cashier for a bag. She smiled and handed me a receipt. Now take a pause. Can you remember and repeat the key words? Market, vegetables, fruits, cashier, bag, receipt. Now try to create your own version. For example, I went shopping today. I needed some fruits and vegetables. The cashier was friendly. She gave me my receipt in a paper bag. With just a bit of creativity, you've built your own memory path. Another great way to build long-term vocabulary is to connect new words with synonyms and opposites. For example, if you learn the word happy, try to also learn joyful and sad. Grouping these words together strengthens your understanding. Say these out loud. I feel happy when the sun is shining. She looked joyful when she saw the gift. He was sad after watching the movie. These emotional connections give you a better grasp of meaning. Let's do a short exercise. Take the word angry. Think of its opposite, calm. Now think of a synonym, mad. Make a few simple sentences. He was angry about the delay. She stayed calm even during the argument. I was mad when I lost my phone. Saying all 3 in one go reinforces their meaning and connection. This makes your memory stronger than just learning one word alone. Now let's talk about how emotions help with memory. When we experience strong feelings, whether happiness, surprise, embarrassment, or even fear, our brain pays more attention. That's why you might remember a funny story or an emotional scene from a movie more than a list of vocabulary words. So, the tip here is to add feelings to your learning. For example, when you learn the word excited, don't just read the definition. Think about a time you felt excited. Maybe it was your birthday. You can say, I was excited when I received a surprise gift. That personal connection makes the word unforgettable. Let's take another example. Think about the word nervous. Instead of only memorizing it, imagine this. You're about to give a speech in front of your class. Your hands are shaking. Your heart is beating fast. That's nervous. Now try to say this sentence. I was nervous before my presentation, but it went well. When you add personal emotion or create a vivid situation, the word becomes part of your experience. One more helpful method is using English in conversations, even if it's just talking to yourself. Yes, talking to yourself in English can be an excellent way to practice. For instance, when you're walking alone, describe what you see. The sky is clear today. I see people walking their dogs. The trees look beautiful. You can also describe what you're doing. I'm cooking dinner now. I'm adding salt. I'm stirring the soup. This makes your brain work in English mode, and the more you use words, the easier they stay with you. Here's a short exercise you can do every evening. Sit for 5 minutes and describe your day in English. For example, today was a busy day. I woke up early and went for a walk. I had tea with my breakfast. I studied English for 1 hour. In the evening, I helped my brother with his homework. It's not about using difficult words. It's about using simple ones correctly and making them part of your daily memory. Let's now practice using past tense vocabulary with a short story. Listen closely. Emma visited her grandmother last weekend. She baked cookies and watched a movie with her. They laughed a lot and took pictures in the garden. Emma said it was the best day she had in a long time. Now think about the words. Visited, baked, watched, laughed, took, said. These are all common past tense verbs. Try making your own story now. Yesterday, I called my friend. We talked for an hour. Then I cleaned my room and listened to music. These exercises help you remember not only the word, but also how it works in a sentence. Now let's do a game called What Comes to Mind. I'll say a word, and you quickly say the first thing you think of that relates to it. Ready? Word 1, rain. You might say umbrella. Word 2, school. Maybe you say teacher. Word 3, pizza. Your answer might be cheese. This game is simple, but powerful. It builds quick connections in your brain between words and meanings, which improves both vocabulary and fluency. Another fun way to boost your memory is with rhymes or silly sentences. Let's say you want to remember the word cautious, which means careful. You can make a sentence like, Cautious Carl carefully crossed the cold road. It sounds funny, but it sticks. Alliteration, rhymes, and rhythm make language memorable. Try another one. Lazy Lisa left her lunch in the library. These kinds of playful phrases may seem childish, but they are extremely helpful for vocabulary recall. Finally, don't forget that mistakes are a natural part of learning. If you forget a word or use it wrong, it's okay. In fact, making a mistake and correcting it helps you remember better than if you never got it wrong. So don't be afraid to speak, write, and experiment with new words. Your brain is always learning, even when you don't realize it. As we come closer to the end of our session, let's review and apply what we've learned in a more natural way. One of the best things you can do to remember English words easily is to keep them active in your life. The more you see, hear, speak, and write a word, the stronger your memory becomes. It's just like training a muscle. You don't go to the gym once and expect to become strong. You practice regularly, and over time, your strength grows. Language learning works in the same way. Here's a routine exercise that combines multiple techniques we discussed. Start with 5 new words each day. Write each word in a sentence, then say the sentence out loud. Next, create a short story using all 5 words. Read it aloud. Then, the next day, review the same 5 words before learning 5 new ones. You will be surprised how much your memory improves in just 1 week. Let's try that routine right now with 5 words: journey, ticket, train, luggage, and platform. First, here are the sentences. My journey starts tomorrow. I bought my ticket online. The train leaves at 9 a.m. I packed my luggage last night. We waited on the platform. Now, here's a short story. Yesterday, I started my journey to the mountains. I booked my ticket online and arrived early at the station. I carried my luggage and stood on the platform. The train was on time, and I enjoyed the ride. This exercise may feel simple, but it brings together sentence making, speaking, writing, and storytelling, all of which strengthen your vocabulary memory. Another great way to improve is by watching or listening to simple English content that you enjoy. When you enjoy what you're listening to, you naturally pay more attention. Choose easy English podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks. While watching or listening, write down new words. Pause the audio and repeat those words aloud. If you can use them later in your own sentence, even better. Make learning fun, and you'll remember more. Also, try shadowing, which means repeating what you hear immediately after a speaker says it. For example, if someone says, I love walking in the park, you pause the video or audio and repeat exactly, I love walking in the park. Do this with full focus. It improves pronunciation, sentence rhythm, and vocabulary retention. It's like echoing the voice you hear, and it keeps your brain sharp and active in English. Now let's end with one last practice. Listen to this mini routine, and then try saying it yourself. Every morning, I get up and stretch. I go to the kitchen and make tea. I listen to a podcast while I eat breakfast. Then, I write my to-do list and prepare for work. These are basic, real-life actions. Now, take a moment and describe your morning routine using similar sentences. You might say, I wake up at 6:30. I brush my teeth and wash my face. I drink a glass of water and go for a walk. I eat toast and eggs for breakfast. This exercise is simple, but it allows you to practice using verbs and nouns that are common and useful. Remember, learning vocabulary is not about memorizing hundreds of words in one day. It's about making the words part of your real, daily experience. Connect them to feelings, routines, stories, conversations, and real-life situations. Review them regularly, speak them aloud, make mistakes, and learn from them. Use tools like visualization, repetition, storytelling, and context. And most importantly, be patient and consistent. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope these strategies help you make real progress in your English vocabulary learning. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel English in Minutes, and share this lesson with your friends who are also learning English. Every day we bring you practical and powerful ways to learn English effectively. Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep learning. Bye for now.